So, how was your day? You sounded like you had a lot on your mind earlier.
I did. It was one of those days that kept shifting between stressful and strangely peaceful. I wanted to tell you everything from the moment it started.
Now I am curious. What happened? You sound lighter now compared to the morning.
Morning was tough. I woke up feeling rushed and the traffic outside just made it worse. Everything felt slow and crowded. But something changed later in the day.
I know that feeling too well. A rushed morning can color the whole day. So, what was the moment that shifted things for you?
When I stepped out during my short break, the air felt cooler and there was this soft shade of sunlight right near the entrance. I just stood there for a moment. It felt peaceful, like a small pause the world was offering me.
Those pauses matter. They remind us to breathe. My morning was the opposite though. It felt heavy from the start, as if I was moving through thick air.
That sounds difficult. What happened? You don't usually sound this strained.
Nothing big happened, just small things piling up. The kind of day where you keep doing tasks but nothing feels satisfying. It was quiet but tiring.
I understand that. Some days feel heavy for no clear reason. But talking helps, doesn't it?
It does help. Just hearing your voice makes the day feel a little softer. Sometimes I think half my tiredness fades the moment we start talking.
I feel the same. Even when the whole day feels messy, one comfortable conversation can bring back a sense of balance. It reminds me that not everything is heavy.
Tell me more about how your day unfolded after that peaceful moment outside your office. It sounded like things changed a bit after that.
They did. After that short break, I felt like I could breathe again. When I returned to my desk, the work was still there, but something inside me had slowed down. I wasn't rushing anymore. I took tasks one at a time and finished them with a better flow.
That's good. Sometimes one calm breath resets the whole rhythm. Did you talk to anyone interesting at work today, or was it one of those quiet days?
It was mostly quiet, but there was one moment. I bumped into a colleague during the afternoon break. We ended up talking about weekend plans, future dreams, and small joys. It wasn't a long conversation, but it felt refreshing.
Moments like that are rare but meaningful. When someone speaks from the heart for even a minute, it stays with you. It reminds us we are not the only ones trying to figure out the day.
Exactly. And after that, I felt lighter. I even finished a report that I had been postponing for days. It felt like the day was slowly shaping into something better. But still, I kept waiting for our call. I knew talking to you would complete the day.
Hearing that makes me smile a little. It feels good to know that our conversations give you comfort. I think that is why I look forward to them too. No matter how the day goes, this moment feels like a small safe space.
Safe space. Yes, that is exactly what it feels like. A place where I don't have to pretend, where I can talk freely without worrying about judgments or expectations.
I get that. Sometimes the world feels loud even when we are quiet. But between us, the conversation always feels gentle, like we are speaking at the right pace. That alone makes the day feel easier.
You know, on the way home today, I noticed something unusual. People were walking slower than usual. Maybe it was the weather, or maybe it was just me observing more. But it felt like the whole street had taken a breath together.
I wish I had seen that. Sometimes, when the city slows down, even for a few seconds, it feels like a gift. It gives you time to reflect, to notice things you usually walk past.
Yes, and something else happened too. I saw an elderly couple walking together holding hands. They looked so peaceful, as if they had walked the same path for years without rushing. That small moment felt comforting.
That sounds beautiful. Moments like that tell us so much about life without speaking. They remind us that companionship can be simple and still mean everything. It must have left a warm feeling in your heart.
It did. I kept thinking about it even after reaching home. It made me realize how small, meaningful moments shape an entire day. Even on difficult days, little pieces of warmth appear out of nowhere.
That is true. My day had a few moments like that too. Even though it felt heavy, I did find brief pockets of peace. One of them was when I stepped outside during lunch and felt a light breeze. For a moment, it felt like my mind and the world were moving at the same pace.
I like that. Sometimes we think the whole day is bad, but then a small moment reminds us that the day was not against us. It was just a little heavy. Those quiet breaths make a big difference.
It really does. And thinking about it now, I feel like both of us had moments that balanced our day in their own ways. Even if the morning felt heavy, the evening brought a softer rhythm. It is strange how things change quietly without us noticing at first.
Yes, the shift is always gentle. It rarely announces itself. It just appears in small ways. A breeze, a smile, a kind gesture, or even a random thought can make everything feel different. Today reminded me of that.
I think we all need days like this sometimes. Days when nothing dramatic happens, but small quiet moments teach us something. Today taught me to slow down a little, to breathe between tasks instead of rushing through them.
That's a good lesson. I learned something too. I realized that I don't always have to carry the whole day alone. Talking to someone, even for a minute, can change how the heart feels. It makes everything lighter.
That is true. Many times we think sharing will make us sound weak, but it actually makes us stronger. I'm glad we talk like this. It makes me understand myself better too.
Same here. Whenever we talk, it feels like time slows down just enough for me to think clearly. Even now, while speaking, I can feel the tiredness of the day fading slowly. It's like the noise in my head is settling down.
Speaking of noise, did something noisy happen at your office today? Earlier you mentioned a busy morning. Was it just the workload or was there more happening around you?
Oh, it was a mix of everything. People were talking loudly, printers kept running, someone dropped a stack of papers, and the phones wouldn't stop ringing. It felt like the whole office woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
That sounds chaotic. I can imagine how overwhelming that must have felt. Sometimes noisy environments drain us more than the actual work.
Exactly. But once the day passed noon, everything slowly cooled down. People were calmer, voices softer, and the office felt more breathable. It was like the morning storm had passed.
I'm glad it's settled. Nobody deserves to sit in that kind of noise for too long. Even my office was noisy today, but in a different way. People were stressed because of deadlines. You could feel the tension in the air even when no one spoke.
That kind of silence is even louder. It sits in the room like a weight. Did you manage to step away for a moment?
Yes, I stepped outside for a few minutes. I didn't go far, just stood near the gate and watched the road. That small pause felt healing. The breeze, the movement of people, the sound of vehicles, it all felt strangely soothing.
I like moments like that. They remind you that even when work feels heavy, the world outside is still moving gently. It gives you a sense of balance.
True. And I noticed something small but nice. A delivery guy dropped a package by mistake, and three strangers helped him pick up everything up. None of them knew each other, but for a moment they worked together like they did.
That's such a wholesome moment. I love seeing little acts of kindness like that. They make the whole day feel lighter, even if we are watching from a distance.
It stayed with me. I kept thinking about how small kindness can change the energy of a whole day. Maybe that is why I am feeling a little calmer now, despite how the morning felt.
I agree. And honestly, talking to you adds to that calm. I can feel the tiredness of my own day fading as we speak. It's nice to share without needing anything to be perfect.
I am glad it feels that way for you too. It makes these conversations something I look forward to. Even after a difficult day, knowing we will talk brings a bit of peace in advance, like a small promise that the evening will be softer.
Exactly. I kept checking the time today, hoping the day would end soon so I could settle down and call you. It felt like the one part of the day that would finally make everything feel right.
You have no idea how nice it is to hear that. I felt the same. Even during lunch, when I stepped out for a moment, I caught myself thinking about how talking to you later might be the best part of the whole day.
That makes me smile. It is strange how both of us felt that way at different times. Maybe this connection has become a kind of anchor for us, something steady in the middle of everything else.
Maybe it has. And I think that is why, even on heavy days, we find something to smile about. It feels like the weight becomes easier to hold when we share it, even unintentionally.
You're right. And you know what else I realized today? I always rush through my evenings. I try to finish everything quickly. But today, while walking home, I slowed down, without meaning to. I looked around, breathed in, and felt present for the first time in days.
That is something I should learn from you. I usually walk fast, even when I have nowhere urgent to go. Maybe slowing down is a way of telling yourself that the day doesn't control you anymore.
Exactly. And today, for the first time in a while, I felt like the evening belonged to me. Like I had space to think, to breathe, to feel. It was nice. A quiet, gentle kind of nice.
I can imagine. And honestly, talking to you now makes the day feel complete in a way. Even though it was tiring, it doesn't feel wasted anymore. These conversations add a kind of meaning to the day.
I feel that too. It's like we pick up the quiet pieces of a day and place them together until everything starts to make sense. Sharing makes the whole day softer.
That is beautifully said and so true. Even when we don't have much to say, even when we just talk about small things, it feels meaningful. It feels real. Maybe this is what comfort sounds like?
Maybe it is. And I like that our conversations don't need anything special. No big excitement, no perfect timing. Just simple words, flowing gently. It feels natural, like breathing.
You're right. It does feel natural. And I think that's what I appreciate most. There's no pressure to sound a certain way or to be perfectly cheerful. We just speak the way the day shaped us, and somehow it fits together.
Yes, that's what makes it comforting. Even when we are tired or confused or unsure, it still feels okay. I don't have to pretend everything is fine. I can just be myself. And that feels rare these days.
I understand that. Life moves fast, and most people expect us to keep up without slowing down. But here, between us, I feel like we pause just enough to breathe. And honestly, I needed that pause today more than ever.
I did too. And it made me think. We notice so many things throughout the day, but we rarely talk about them. For example, today I noticed something small but sweet. On my way home, a street vendor handed extra coriander to a woman buying vegetables. He smiled and said, "For good luck."
That is really thoughtful. Moments like that make the world feel gentler than it seems. It's interesting how such small gestures stay in the heart longer than big moments. Maybe because they feel so genuine.
Exactly. It was such a simple moment, but it made me smile instantly. And I realized something. Every day has these small stories. We just forget to talk about them. Maybe that's why the day feels heavy sometimes. We hold everything inside.
That's true. I saw someone helping an old man cross the road today. The traffic was loud, people were in a rush, but one man stopped everything just by slowing down and offering his hand. It made me stop for a moment too.
That's beautiful. It's easy to think the world is always chaotic or difficult, but these small moments prove otherwise. Maybe the world is softer than we realize, and we just need to look in the right places.
Yes, and honestly, talking about these moments with you makes them even more meaningful. It's like sharing them gives them a second life, a softer shape. I think that's why our conversations feel so comforting.
I feel the same. Even when the day is confusing, just expressing the small details makes everything lighter. It's like we are stitching together all the quiet parts of the day and making something warm out of it.
You know, something else happened today. While I was leaving work, I saw a little group of kids running around near the building. They were laughing so freely, no worries, no deadlines, just pure joy. Watching them for a few seconds made me forget the stress I'd been carrying.
I love watching kids play. They have a way of reminding us that life doesn't always have to be serious. Their energy feels like sunshine. It instantly shifts the mood of the whole moment.
Exactly. And for that moment, I actually felt lighter, like the weight of the day just slipped a little. Maybe happiness is contagious in small doses?
It is. And now that you're saying this, I am realizing something. Even on the longest, toughest days, there are always these tiny bright points, like stars in a big cloudy sky. They are small, but they are there.